Hey everyone, Cole GZ, another new release preview. Everything here that I'm going to show you today, we have two releases actually this week. First one is going to come out tomorrow. That would be Wednesday, the 7th of December. And then we have our typical Friday drop on I guess that'd be the 9th, December 9th. And so I'm going to start with the one for the 7th. We have a lot of new stuff here I want to show you, a lot of really nice stuff. We're going to hit December pretty hard with product releases, probably doing a Wednesday and Friday release. We got a lot of specialty items, so it's going to be kind of a hectic end of the year, but I think you guys are going to be pretty excited about what we're going to release. So we'll start with this coming Wednesday. That would be tomorrow, the 7th. All right. I've been very excited for the opportunity to sell these again. We got in some Crampton baits from Brian Crampton. So this right here is a quarter tonner, one of his most popular shapes. Originally Scott Crampton, if you don't know the story, Scott Crampton passed away in 2020. We worked with him, and he he was a famous captain and lure maker for almost 40 years. And we were working with him basically through the time of his passing for a couple years. Scott Crampton is an awesome guy, very well-known captain in Kona. And then after Kona, he kind of went and lived in California and Texas, different times. But anyway, his lures speak for themselves. He's one of the only guys that does real shell. I think Steve Coggin and John Lau might be the only other two guys that really do this on the regular. But you can see those real shell slabs underneath there. So these are not Scott's, these are now Brian's. I'm going to explain the story a little bit. But so Scott passed away, and then about maybe a year ago, Brian started dabbling with his dad's work. When I first found out about it, I think we had a couple of Scott's lures that we got. They were pre-owned on our website, and Brian reached out and ended up having a phone call with him. And so he was telling me what's going on, what his kind of plans were. And so Brian, I mean, he used to, when Scott was in California, Brian would be hanging out in his dad's shop and kind of learn the process and what his dad did and everything. And so he got the whole spiel from Scott. And then a couple years, well, about a year and a half maybe after his passing, Brian started getting the itch to try and do some of his work that his dad was doing and dabble with it. So he started doing it, fell in love with the process. The lures, I mean, they're freaking gorgeous. They look. He does a lot of different color patterns that his dad didn't do. Like this is an example, and I'll show you all the ones we have, but like this salt and pepper pattern, you can see some different color patterns and different back colors and things that he does that his dad maybe didn't dabble with as much. But yeah, they look very similar in style, to put it mildly. And he's the same molds that his dad used. And so it is, they're basically the same shapes, same molds. So they're not basically, they are. And in fact, he's working on probably some of his dad's older stuff that hasn't released in quite some time. So here's a hog right here. So the question always was, well, how do his lures work? You know, he just started getting into this. Yeah, he learned from his dad, but how do his lures work? Well, he's been working hard on that part of it and just trying to get the right balance and everything like that. And you can see there too, underneath there, he's got well, it's going to look backwards because of how I have my camera, but it says Crampton Baits label on the bottom, and that's kind of how you can distinguish his work from his dad's now. His first stuff did not have that label on there. You can see some salt and pepper work. It looks kind of a lot like his dad's did, actually, on these, if I remember correctly. But so he's been dabbling with that, tweaking things, getting some feedback from some guys. And Roger Marandino, our pro angler, got some stuff from Brian, and we've been talking to Brian for quite some time. And like I said, pretty much since he started. And I mean, I had a nice long 2 hour conversation with him and just talked about his dad and different things. And we'd like to get into that story eventually and share that with you all. But uh, it was just really awesome talking to him. He's so passionate about this, and he's just got this drive to try and keep his dad's legacy going. And it's just, I mean, it's just so cool. I mean, so cool. Um, and so anyway, Roger was going to Cape Verde and the Azores. He went to Cape Verde for the World Cup, and then the Azores after that. Fished with Marty Bates, Les Gallagher, Luke. Man, I apologize, man. I can't remember your last name right now. And some other guys. I think 3 or 4 different captains there that he was fishing with. I'm gonna remember your name here in a second. Your last name. But anyway, that's driving me nuts. He was fishing a lot of Brian's lures while he was out there. And in fact, he even had some of his dad's lures there as well. When he was out there fishing in the same spread. And I'm just telling you, Roger was getting smashed on Brian's lures. I think he had a tube he was using, a 1/4 tonner, and I think one of the well, he had his dad's last year. He caught an 800 plus on his one of his dad's hogs, I believe it was. I have a frame of it actually over by the computer, but yeah, they work. That's all I'm saying. They work. So we're very confident in these lures. We believe that they work really well. He caught 5 or 6 fish in the Azores, and they were hitting those lures over a lot of the others in the spread. And it's not to discredit any of those lures that they were using. It's just they work. I'm just telling you, they work. We believe in it, and they're beautiful. You can see from those pictures, like they're killer. I'll show you them all here in a bit. But anyway, all those, this is our first release. They are releasing on Wednesday. That's tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Hawaii time. So it is a special drop, a special Wednesday drop that we're doing. So check them out. If you're a big Crampton fan, you're not gonna be disappointed in these. I'm just telling you. Hopefully you can see from these pictures that they're just gorgeous. And his story is phenomenal. He's on fire for this stuff. I'm so stoked. I was friends with Scott, and I love talking to him. Miss that guy, and it's just to kind of have his son sort of keep his legacy going. It's a pretty cool thing. So, all right, I'm gonna try and cut the rest of this shorter, and I want to at least get started there. I guess real quick, we got on Friday, we got JB Signature Lures, another drop. They've been sold out for quite some time. Have a lot of stuff to show you. I'll show all those here in a second, get into all the shapes and stuff. We have a small release of KOYA Lures 9-inch plus jets. And then we have a rubber skirted and flash through skirted option just in the white shell. And then we have some more TANIGAWA 9-inch jets. We have the 4-hole reverse taper. This is what Lon calls, and I don't believe it's specific to the color pattern, but the shape. This is the reverse taper with 4-hole jets. They call this the American Express. It's a newer style, but they've been producing really well. And this is a bread and butter 9-inch 2-hole jet. So 9-inch stuff. Couple different color patterns. We have an interview with Lon where he talks about those lures, and he gets in it with Chris. Check that out. But I'm gonna flip this around, show you the color patterns real quick. All right, here we got Cramptons. Again, we got the hogs, we got the plungers, okay, tubes right there, 1/4 tonners. All right, these things are gems. Get on them before they sell out. This is what we got in for this first batch. All right, here's the JB Signature lures. I'll go through these pretty quick. All the color patterns there's pretty much everything that's different. We got, I love what they do, how they really try to match the hatch with everything. It's got a specific fish pattern or whatever that they design their lures with. So on the product descriptions on the website, they're very specific to a specific bait fish that in different areas people use to target, whether it's a palu or mackerel or mahi, obviously skipjack. There's some bluefin. There's a whole bunch of stuff. So check it out. We got again the small barrel bomb, and then here large plunger, large crusher, which is in between the plunger and it's between a plunger shape and a straight runner shape. This is the straight runner shape, the large crusher. So this is kind of does a mix of both as far as action goes. Here's more your straight runner shape, the slasher, large slasher. I don't know what I said the first time, but it's a large slasher. And here's the XL plunger. Then we got a small batch of large thumpers in, medium cruisers. This is the medium plungers and new, these are brand new medium shorties. So check those out. There's the 9-inch plus jets. We got a variety. We have quite a few of I say quite a few, couple handfuls of the regular white shell on that shape, but that is the only color we got in. So get them while they're there. They are sold out right now. And then here's your Tanigawas. You see some ice blue. All these are disco right there. That's the 9-inch 2-hole. And then there's the 4-hole. We have some ice rainbow, some of that darker rainbow. That's really cool. And then there's pink, clear, and ice blue disco. And we did some flash blue options. You'll see some head-only options on there as well. So that's, again, this right here, this group, Friday, November, man, that's the 9th? Sorry, not November. Friday, December 9th. 4 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Hawaii time. And then the Cramptons is Wednesday, 4 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Hawaii time. All right, that's all we got. Thank you for your time. For those of you who support us through GZ Black Week, we really appreciate it. Hope you all have a happy holidays. We'll be back next week with another duo release, and we are very excited about it. So we'll get that out next week. But yeah, check this stuff out this week. Really nice stuff. Excited to get it to you all. All right. Thanks, guys.